This week I made a serving tray out of a vintage Coca Cola crate. Hi everyone, welcome back to the City Aperture channel. My name is Jose. I go by City Aperture, and this week I have a new project for you guys. It was gone last week because my computer broke actually, and I couldn't edit. My editing computer was the cats broke it. If I'm being honest with you, but it's fixed. Everything's fine, back to normal. I'm able to edit this video. This is the first video I edit on my new hard drive on my computer. So, and this week I decided to make a serving tray. You can see it here. So this is to serve drinks. It has handles on each end. But I made it out of a vintage Coca Cola, and you can see Coca Cola. This is one of those crates that you used to carry the drinks in. You can see it had the dividers on here. I'll put some photos of what it used to look like. But basically, I completely took it apart. I cleaned it, sanded it, and I made a serving tray that I'm actually going to sell on my Etsy store. So I'll put a link to that if I'm allowed. I don't know if YouTube allows me to do that. But anyways, if not, there's one in the description. But yeah, I'm going to walk you through how I did it so you guys can do this yourself. Let's go ahead and get right to it.
Yeah, so here you see what the crate looked like. It was subdivided so that different bottles could fit on there. And then here, I'm just taking a measurement for the piece of wood that's going to be in the inside. Once I take the whole thing apart, I'm going to cut that next. Now I have use of a table saw, but obviously you can cut this many different ways. So don't feel like only a table saw will work. And the next thing is to take it apart. It had this metal straps that I needed to pry off. That was the hardest thing about taking it apart, really. And then it was just being held on by nails. Here are the parts. It basically just kept the four faces, and one of them has stuff in the back that I didn't want to sand off. But here I am measuring the dado that I'm going to cut on it. Now the table I use doesn't have a dado stack, so I have to make multiple passes moving the saw a little bit. But that dado is where the bottom of the tray is going to sit on. So I keep measuring and I keep cutting back and forth. It would have been easier if I had a dado stack. It would have just been one pass. Probably would have been safer that way as well. And finally got a good fit, and I just tested it out to make sure it all fit properly. And then I sanded a couple of the pieces a little bit. Some of the sides were a little bowed. So it was just the two end caps, basically the short ends, that I wanted to sand. So just a quick sand just to flatten them out a little. I really want to keep the sort of reclaimed look of it. I don't want to make it look too finished. Here I give a quick sand to the bottom piece before I stain it. I use one of my favorite stains. This is a wood finish, the ebony color, and this nice dark color, kind of like Coca Cola. You know, very nice dark. Now this is just a stain. I'm gonna put a seal on it after this dries. So. A nice dark stain. It looks a little darker in this video than it looks in real life. And then it's just a matter of gluing the whole thing together. So, just putting some glue in, and then some clamps. And the sides are just glued, but then when I put the metal strap in, you'll see that towards the end. That's the last step. It's going to tie it all together. So, right now it's just sort of gluing a little wood glue to bind it all together. Trying to keep the corners straight. And then here is the seal, the Danish oil, which is both a finish and a seal. So I chose the Danish oil because it's all going to make as you notice, the red's a little dull, right, just from age. But this finish is going to make that red pop a little more. It also gives the stain a nice dark finish. It makes the wood pop a little. It has a slight tint to it, but not so much where it's like, ugh. but it really made, and I gotta give my wife credit for this. She told me to put this on there because it would give a nice pop to the color. Finally, I just put my seal in the back. I have this stamp that I had made up with my logo. So a little bit of silver ink, and then press it in the back. There it is.
Okay, so the last thing to do is we're going, well, not the last thing, second to last is we're going to put in some polyurethane on it on the inside here. So just spray some of it on.
I put the polyurethane on because, you know, it's gonna have water on the bottom. Just want to make a good nice seal to it. And then finally putting on the metal strap that was originally with it. It used to be nailed on, but I used some 3/4 inch screws. Some nice, it'll give it a nice better look, and it really finishes off the piece. You know, it's not just wood. I don't know if this is original to the crate, but I thought it really made it pop out. It gave it a nice look to it. So let's look at a couple of photos of it finished. There you have it. Because it has that nice rustic look to it. Like it's been cleaned up, but it's not quite yet a brand new thing, you know? So
Yeah, so there you guys have it. That's how I made my serving tray out of a vintage Coca Cola crate. Fairly straightforward project. Easy to do while I was using a table saw and a disc sander. You know, you can do it with probably a handsaw. It's not that difficult to put together. Anybody can do it, I think. Like I mentioned, it is going to be in my Etsy store. The name of my Etsy store is City Aperture, so it's easy to find. But I'll also put a link in the description below, so you guys can go to it if you're interested on it. If you have any questions on how I did it or whatnot, should leave a message. And I might make more if I find any more of these strays. I go to a lot of vintage stores, a lot of salvage stores, so yeah, I run into them every once in a while. But yeah, that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you enjoyed this project, you know, I have a lot more projects coming up. So, you know, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys next week. If you guys like this project, then maybe you'll enjoy the podcast that I do with my two colleagues, Claudia and Ray. We discuss purpose-driven design, making, and manufacturing. We talk about architecture. We talk about all sorts of making. We have a project of the week. So yeah, please check it out. Again, it's called the Made Podcast. Thanks so much.